Hello and welcome to National Focus for Thursday, February 20, 2025. I am Julian Morris. In the headlines, over 100 Dominicans impacted by U.S. immigration crackdown. Dominica welcomes Portuguese ambassador, and government working to create jobs for returning Dominicans. The details of the headline stories and more when we return. Welcome back. The U.S. government has informed the government of Dominica that 104 Dominicans have been identified for eviction from their homes. ICE did not respond to questions about the latest immigration enforcement numbers. DHS posted on X that as of February 3, its agents had arrested over 8,000 people. In January, ICE acting director told ICE agents to aim for 1,200 to 1,400 arrests a day.
They are not in a position to give the names until those persons would have been in their custody. So our embassy in Washington is in touch with the State Department, which they share information with us. As it is now, I've been told they have about 3 or 4 Dominicans in custody to be sent home. And we are facilitating documentation, because there's some people who don't have no documents because of the length of time they have in the United States, and we have to provide them with travel documents. Because of this, we have elevated the filling of the position of Consul General in New York as a priority. So anybody who is interested in that job, you can apply to be Consul General Dominica to United States. You can't be a U.S. citizen to hold that post, so to tell you. Because that position is very crucial in coordinating the State Department and the various state agencies in processing Dominicans who have to be deported.
The Prime Minister has a pragmatic view of the U.S. government's immigration policy.
I have a different view than most people. Mr. Trump was elected by the people of the United States of America. He said to them what he was going to do. He is doing what he said he was going to do, and we respect that. He's the President of the United States. This is a domestic policy, and the reality is, most, if not all, countries in the world have the same practice. Mr. Trump has a way of making things look more substantial than they are, and he's doing that. But we have no issue with his immigration policies and what he's doing where this is concerned. And we will continue to cooperate with them and to facilitate the repatriation of any Dominican who has been deemed to be of not a bona fide status in the United States of America.
He says the government of Dominica has a duty and an obligation to work with the U.S. government on this issue.
Countries deport people from different parts of the world every single day and deny people entry into the country every single day. And I don't think anyone should make it look like it's the only place happening in the United States of America. So we'll facilitate this, and we'll facilitate Dominicans coming home.
Government investment in the extension of the runway at Douglas Charles Airport has always been part of a future-focused approach to development and governance. Health Minister Honorable Cassani Laville says transformational change does not happen overnight, but when it does, it must be anchored in strategy, determination, and an unrelenting commitment to the people.
Let me emphasize that this government is investing in extending the runway. This was strategic and an absolutely necessary move enabling today's inaugural flight. This extension wasn't just about immediate needs. It's a calculated step towards forging vital partnerships in the aviation industry as we prepare for the opening of our new airport.
The Honourable Minister observed that this groundwork ensures that government is not merely waiting for opportunities, but is proactively creating them.
When the new airport becomes operational, we will be poised to welcome flights from a wide array of united destinations across the globe. Our planning today guarantees we hit the ground running, maximizing our potential for growth and connectivity from day one.
The commencement of United Airlines direct flights into Dominica is the result of years of strategic planning and a firm belief that Dominica deserves its place on the global stage.
United Airlines' decision to launch direct services to our shores is more than just expansion of air access. It is a powerful endorsement of Dominicans' right potential. United's decision to invest in Dominica reflects what we know to be true. Our nation is on an upward trajectory, full of promise, full of potential. It reaffirms the confidence that global partners have in our vision and our commitment to progress.
The issue of free movement within CARICOM and that of contingent rights expected to be among discussions at the 40th regular meeting of CARICOM heads of government in Barbados this week. The two-day summit is being held under the theme Strength in Unity, Forging Caribbean Resilience, Inclusive Growth, and Sustainable Development.
As you know, I have been advancing the cause of the free movement of all people in CARICOM. It should not be an elitist thing, or if you go to university or if you have a university degree, then you're allowed to move. It has to be about everybody. Integration has to be about everybody benefiting and participating in this project.
The Prime Minister strongly advocates an inclusive approach to free movement within the region.
And so we are stuck on the issue of contingent rights, whether people are entitled to education, if so, to what extent, or healthcare, if so, to what extent. And I'm hoping that we can make some progress in Barbados and get the full free movement. I made it clear to them, because they now want to add pilots and flight attendants. I want people to support this, because this is just convenient. And I think that if we are truly committed to the free move to the CARICOM project, which I believe we are, then we have to show it in a tangible way.
Concern has been raised that certain countries would be overwhelmed if there is free movement within CARICOM.
And this notion that people are going to flock into this country or the country, the evidence doesn't show that. None of our economies is as strong as it is that people are going to flock to our countries for opportunities. We don't have enough people in the Caribbean. We don't have enough critical mass in any of these countries. Outside of Haiti, we feel 11 or 13 million people. And so we need to be able to have the movement of people so that we all can benefit from the skills and talents and opportunities that exist within the Caribbean space. And free movement is central to this.
The issue of the rising cost of living is also on the agenda.
There are no clear strategies that one can use to address this matter because there's imported inflation. A lot of these things, the prices are landed in our countries, and cost of shipping has increased, cost of insurance has increased, and so it's matter for us to see how we can share our views, and to benefit from each other's views as to what is it that we can do to cushion the impact that the cost of living having on all our citizens, including governments, because governments are the largest consumer of goods and services. So even within the government, we are still increasing the cost of running the country because we also buy this stuff from the shelves.
Dominica has welcomed a new ambassador for Portugal. This as Her Excellency Catarina de Mendoza y Arruda Oliveira Rodriguez presented her credentials to President of Dominica, Her Excellency Silvani Burton, on Wednesday at the State House. President Burton says despite establishing diplomatic relations since 1996, there has not been much collaboration between the two countries, something that she hopes changes during this term.
I therefore look forward to the development of a fruitful and lasting relationship between our two countries, exploring the potential for cooperation in the areas of common interest and a critical importance such as tourism, trade, health, education, agriculture, science and technology, food security, sustainable coastal development, climate change resilience, renewable energy, and disaster management.
President Burton noted that the determination of small island developing states to secure a sustainable and resilient future through the Sustainable Development Goals is overshadowed by the major global challenges that confront them.
These challenges include threats to global security, climate change, degradation of our ecosystem and loss of biodiversity, wars and conflicts, poverty, inequality, and the growing challenge of chronic non-communicable diseases. Dominica therefore remains resolved in its commitment to working with Portugal and the rest of the global community to offer solutions to our various challenges with a view to realizing a sustainable, transformative, safer, and fairer future for all.
She added that Portugal's desire for multilateral collaboration is reflective in its support for the economic partnership agreements between the European Union and the African, Caribbean, and Pacific states.
I further wish to acknowledge and thank Portugal for its relentless championing of the concerns of SEEDS, particularly in critical areas such as environmental protection, climate change, and sustainable development. SEEDS need the support of its international partners and hence look forward to Portugal's continued advocacy. Your Excellency, our cooperation with your country in the international arena can be counted upon, and we look forward to providing support for the candidacy of Portugal on various international bodies in appropriate circumstances.
Meanwhile, new Portuguese ambassador, Her Excellency Catarina de Mendoza y Arruda Oliveira Rodrigues, says that Portugal is dedicated to strengthening the established diplomatic ties in order to address the global challenges that impact both nations.
Allow me to further express our will and interest in exploring ways to further strengthen our bilateral cooperation. Biodiversity and environmental issues, maritime borders and security, blue economy and tourism could and should be on our horizons of our both countries. The tourism industry, for instance, playing a vital role in both our economies, could be an auspicious area for cooperation, whether through the exchange of good practices and lessons learned, as well as promoting cultural and touristic exchanges between our nations. And for sure, Portugal is open to any other lines of cooperation that Dominican authorities wish to identify.
You are watching National Focus. More when we return. Welcome back. Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit says government's interventions such as the airport extension, the international airport, and increasing airlift into the country are intended to create sustainable jobs for Dominicans at home and returning.
And all of those investments we're making is in a view to create jobs. That's the first objective of the government. Create jobs for people, sustainable jobs for people. Because I've always maintained that it is my hope and dream that those of our family members who are resident overseas can come back to our country to opportunities, and their opportunities are growing. And so let us be positive in the country. Let us look at opportunities. Let us position ourselves as citizens and residents of Dominica to take advantage of those opportunities. So we thank them very much for that, for United, for his commitment, and we thank all those who played a part in ensuring that we got to this point.
United Airlines made its inaugural flight to Douglas Charles Airport on Saturday. This crucial development is set to enhance the airport's capacity and improve operational efficiency, paving the way for increased flight traffic and better service for travelers. That's news. Now your weather update. A low-level trough was expected to bring more clouds and showers, some of which could be moderate to heavy. People in areas prone to flooding, landslides, and falling rocks should stay alert and take precautions. Conditions were expected to improve gradually in the afternoon as moisture decreases. The sea will remain moderate over the next 24 hours, with wave heights up to 8 feet along the northern, eastern, and southern coasts, and up to 5 feet along the western coast. A small craft advisory is in effect. Small craft operators and sea bathers are advised to be cautious and take steps to remain safe. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. Be sure to follow GIS Dominica on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. You can also drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm. From all of us here on the GIS News Production team, I am Julian Morris. Thanks for watching.